Hello and welcome to part number 23. So we left off with this button here, and now let's create, I'm going to show you a picture, so that run stop button here, and it has the same height as the button we created and the same look down here, and then there's sitting this square type thing on it. So let's try to create that. So that thing we have created, let's just hit C, Control C, Control V to do a copy, and then for whatever reason Maya puts it in a new group here, so I'm gonna edit unparent that and then delete the group. So the advantage of a duplicate now is that we can tweak those inputs, and you can't do that with a duplicate of an object. So let's go to the top view, and then we don't have to, but I just move it here in place, top of that image plane in the background. And then let's go to the inputs here, and let's take the width here. So I mark it and then hit Control C to copy that and put that in for the depth. Hit enter. So and then the width is, so I measured that 1.75, and you can see so that fits to our reference image in the background. Alright, so go back to perspective, hit F on the keyboard to go to frame on that. Alright, so now let's create another polygon cube. Okay, so I move it in place. So let's change the inputs here to 1.04 and width and depth the same, so it's a square 1.04. And now we so let's just go here to that object and go to edge mode, select one edge, and then control right click, edge utilities and split. And we do the same here. Click on one of those edges, hit G to repeat the last tool. So I created those edges to align my object here. So I move it here. So then the cube we created, move it here in Z, and then V middle mouse snap it to the center of that square type button. So I move it here and then V middle mouse snap it. So then we could change the height to something like, that doesn't really matter, so I'm gonna tweak on that later on. So I'm going here to the bottom and select the bottom face and delete it. Then select that object and do a bevel. So set to fraction of, let's pull down the fraction to 0.02. So just checking. So could even be lower than that. So let's try something like 0.015. Okay, going lower, so just 0.01. Yeah. So hit Alt 5 to get back wireframe and shaded. Alright, so let's select that object and then we move it down, and then let's take a look at our reference image. You can see it good from here, but in the end, so I'm looking at the thing here, so it's standing right there. So it's just coming out just a tiny bit, so I think I'll leave it like it is now. Alright, so let's go here to vertex mode and select all the bottom vertices. Move them up in Y, and then V middle mouse and snap them to the top of that square type thing below it. Okay. So now let's go in here, go to edge mode, select one of those edges, and then control, right click, edge utilities and split. Do the same here, G. And then, so I'm doing that because I only want to work on 1/4 of that whole geometry. So I tested that out off screen, so makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so now let's go in here, go to face mode, select the top face of that square type button below it, delete it. We don't need that. So of course we could go in and say, okay, just start deleting 3/4 of our whole geometry. So we only have 1/4 left. So let's go in here, go to edge mode, double click on that edge. Or we might just select it by hand, so select this one, and then you know, this one, shift selecting. So this is edge number 5, and that's it. So it's all. So let me just change the background. Hit Alt B, and then go hit 4 on the keyboard, so you can see better what I. So I selected 5 edges here down here. And 5 to go back to shading mode. And now I'm gonna do an extrusion, just a slightly extrusion. Come close to that. Okay, so what I see here with the perspective view, I go closer, so I can't see, you know, the details anymore. So let's first finish that extrusion, but I'm going to change some adjustments in the settings in the perspective view camera. So let's just move it somewhere here. Okay, so I'm going to merge some here in the end, so that, you know, those 2 edges can sit almost on top of each other. Okay, so with that, let's go to the outliner and select here the perspective camera, and then let's open up the attribute editor, and then here the near clip plane. So let's lower that to 001, so that we, you know, get closer. We still see everything. Back to the channel box here. Okay, so now let's go in here, go to edge mode, or just split selected edge ring tool, and just do one here, hit R, and then we scale it flat in, what is it, X? Scale it flat in X, and then hit W to move it, here in X, and then zoom in on that, and then V middle mouse over this vertex here. Okay. And now let's just go in both objects selected and combine those. Now we want to merge this edge here, so I'll select those 2 vertices here. So hit frame F to frame in on that. So those and vertices here, could have merged the edge itself, but so then shift select those 2, so we got 4 vertices selected. So 1, 2 here and 2 there, and then merge. So we get rid of that border edge. Okay. So now let's go in here and select, go back to edge mode, select this edge, shift select this one, this one, this one. So you get 4 edges selected. Do another extrusion. Hit W to do the extrusion in world, and then bring that close to somewhere here. And now let's take the use the target weld tool. So then I'm going to vertex mode, and then I left click and drag it on top of this vertex here. Do the same with this one to here, and this one goes there, and this one there, and then finally this one over here. Okay, so now let's hit Q on the keyboard to go to object mode. And then I want to insert another edge loop here close. No, insert edge loop somewhere close to that point there. And then hit Q, go to object mode, and then I'm going to smooth it. And then hit Alt 5 to turn off frame on shaded. So then, yeah, that looks good to me. So we think we can leave it like it is. Could lower the top part a little bit, but let's see how it looks if we get all the 4 pieces together. So this is only 1/4. So W, and then let's hold down D to change the pivot, and then V to snap it here to that corner. So the pivot over there. So let's just delete the history. And then let's hit Control D to duplicate, and then scale it -1. Okay, so let me undo that. So the scale is set to world, I guess. So let's double click here on the scale tool. Yes, so let's put it to object. And then scale it -1 in Z, so we don't have those normals in the wrong direction. Okay, so now let's select those 2 objects, combine those with this combined W. So let's move the pivot again to this point here, so D and V middle mouse snap it here, and then hit Control D to duplicate it, R to scale, and then -1 in X. So we can, so we get 3 objects now. Let me turn on wireframe shaded. So let's select all those 3 objects and then combine them. And then let's just go in here to vertex mode, select all those vertices and do a merge. So let's, okay, so the threshold, that's a hard word for a German guy. Let's lower that to 0.001 so that Maya doesn't merge vertices that are closer than 0.01. But that looks good to me, so I think that worked out. So no unwanted vertices deleted here. Go to object mode, and just to so we smooth it here, hit Alt 5. Looks good to me. Could go in here and delete some edge loops, so yeah, we leave it like it is for now. Alright, so I think, yeah, so we finished that start, stop, or what's the name? It's a right next tab button. And we will go on and get almost to the end, almost, in the next one.